Hello and welcome back to the John and Adrian podcast. John, we were wrong about that Buffalo Titans game. Like we said that once the Bills were going to lose either to the Titans or the Chiefs, and now I'm kind of feeling that they're going to lose to both of them. And
Yeah.
like
I feel like that's a possibility we kind of ignored because we ignored the fact that the Titans had almost 2 weeks to prepare for this game.
well, they didn't. Well,
And
they did and they didn't because they weren't allowed to practice
but
they
they
weren't
did
allowed.
anyways.
Right. Yeah, they weren't officially allowed to like go out and
Yeah.
practice, but we completely forgot that they broke protocols and were like out there doing their thing, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and also it wasn't like, oh, the Titans barely beat the Bills. No, it was
Mhm.
like
They obviously were practicing.
like it was embarrassing. Either the Bills didn't like, probably the Bills were practicing for the Chiefs and thought the Titans were going to be way worse than they were, or the Titans were like coming for their necks. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I looked at
ridiculous.
the score of this game and was so scared because I needed Stephon Diggs to get me 13 fantasy points. And I looked at the score and I'm like, oh no, he didn't do it. But then I looked and he did, so I won, and it
Yeah.
was all of
Well, Stephon Diggs is the only one that Josh Allen throws to or he complete a pass to. Like
Yeah.
it was rough. And then yeah, this game was beautiful for me because in my other fantasy league, I had Stephon Diggs, but the other guy had Josh Allen, right? So like it was kind of one of those things where it's like if Diggs does good, Josh Allen's gonna do good, but it didn't work like that at all. Josh Allen threw like 4 interceptions, probably I think it was like 3, but probably more. He should have thrown more. He just got lucky, and it worked out, and I won. So that and Jonnu Smith got a touchdown, and then he got a second touchdown that should have totally been called back because Ryan Tannehill was like 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and the refs were like, "Nah, that's good. That's good. We like that."
Like, it doesn't matter.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. You're up by 30 anyway.
Yeah, it's already a blowout. Like, who cares? No, uh, so it's definitely the Bills showed weakness, and it was rough.
Titans are good at exposing people's weaknesses. Like,
Right?
they aren't gonna win anything like a Super Bowl, but when they play good teams, they show up.
They really
Um,
do.
I so now though the Bills go on and play the Chiefs, and they're probably gonna lose that game because
It's
I don't think the Chiefs are gonna lose 2 games in a row with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. They could. I remember a couple years ago with Alex Smith, they went on like a losing. They went out. They went like 5-0, and then at one point in the season they were like 5-7 or 5-8 or something, and they came back and made the playoffs barely. I feel like they could do that again, where like they go 5-0, then 0 whatever, then go 5-0 again to end the season out and finish 10-6.
no.
I don't think Patrick Mahomes will do that,
Well,
but
also you're forgetting the Chiefs' new deadly weapon, Le'Veon
uh,
Bell. Dog. Okay.
I I hate this because
Well, let's break down the story of Le'Veon Bell. So
okay,
a couple days ago, right? Le'Veon Bell liked a tweet saying like Adam Gase is like a goon or something, like obviously defaming Adam Gase, and then the story dropped that they were trying to trade him again because last year, if you remember last year around this time, the rumors came out that Le'Veon Bell was going to get traded. Didn't happen. And this time they tried again to trade him. It didn't happen. He got cut. And now if we would have recorded this episode like a few days ago, we'd be talking about like, oh, Le'Veon Bell is going to sign with the Dolphins, or is he going to sign with like,
yeah,
this and that. But he's signing with the Chiefs. Like, it's official. The official NFL Instagram, Twitter, like, have all released pictures of Le'Veon Bell in a Chiefs uniform.
yeah,
Chiefs players are like taking pictures with him, so it's like it's happening. And the only downside to him going to the Chiefs is like in fantasy, because if you're a Clyde Edwards-Helaire fantasy football owner, that's rough.
yeah.
That is
So
rough.
this is why I'm upset because Chris Carson has a bye this week, and so I was gonna trade Ruben for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I was gonna give him one of my like 8 good receivers because he needs a receiver. And then I saw Le'Veon Bell get signed. I'm like, no, Le'Veon Bell's gonna take all the reps.
Right.
No, Clyde Edwards-Helaire's a backup now.
Not probably not a. He's probably they're probably
Like
running
Le'Veon
back by
can't
committee.
play for this week, but
Right. So
I'm
Clyde
expecting
Edwards-Helaire,
Le'Veon Bell to be a bigger asset in the receiving game than and Clyde Edwards-Helaire to take the run. But
which
I don't
that's
know.
still a lot of reps. Like that's what
That is
10 points away from Clyde's. But the way I look at it, right? You have like 3 options as a Helaire fantasy owner. You trade him away right now, right? Or you hold on to him for this week, trade him, hope and praise that he has like a killer game of like 40 fantasy points or whatever, right? So like you trade him after the game and hope people don't know that Le'Veon Bell is there. Or you wait until like Le'Veon Bell plays a week and see the effects that he has on like Hilaire's touches, which
he can't play until week 7.
Right. So obviously, yeah, you have to wait after this week or like next week. So like, I feel like those are your 3 options, and obviously the last one's the Ricky, the with the most risk. But honestly, if I was an owner of him, I'd try to trade him. Like, there's no, his value is at its highest right now. Maybe after this week, but like, it's only gonna go down. Like, there's no up. Le'Veon Bell, which that was the thing. I was like, I was hoping Le'Veon Bell would go to like the Dolphins or the Cardinals or like the Bills even, because like if he went to those markets, it wouldn't affect fantasy like at all, because no one has those running backs.
Even affects the Chiefs. Their offense looks like the Browns' offense now, except it's actually producing. And so this is a huge impact just on football in general, because I don't think Le'Veon Bell is all that great, but I think Andy Reid could make him great, and I think
and he was under
could be
Adam
used
Gase
more as a receiving back. But even in Pittsburgh, my biggest problem with him was he was too patient behind any other offensive line besides that one, and maybe the Cowboys one.
He'd get murdered,
good. And as a receiving back, he's obviously one of the best, but he's always getting hurt, and availability is the best ability. So if you're not on the field, then you can't be considered good. I hated when people would say he was the best running back in the league, and I'm like, well, you kind of got to be in the league to be the best running back in the league.
Right. No, I'm just looking at it through like the fantasy lens, I suppose, right? Like, if Helaire right now is getting like 20 touches per game, right? That's really good for a running back.
He's like a top 10 running back in fantasy, I think.
Right.
I'm not sure. Maybe like 12 or something like that. He's close.
And then the only person that this probably affects positively is Patrick Mahomes, which your boy has Patrick Mahomes, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then like Travis Kelce, I feel like Travis Kelce is the only like real safe other option on the Chiefs, because like the Chiefs don't have a backup tight end.
I
like
think Tyreek Hill is still a safe option because he's the deep threat, right? Le'Veon Bell is not going to be catching the deep ball. So once or twice a game, because they do deep threats a lot in the Chiefs offense. So Tyreek Hill is still going to get his 70-yard touchdowns a game.
Right. Like, he's still able to pop off for one of those every like couple games. But like, yeah. So yeah, he might still be good in that aspect, but I don't know. It's definitely gonna be fun to see the, like, obviously the Chiefs are good and they just got better with Le'Veon Bell, but like, I don't really care how good the Chiefs are. I care about my fantasy team more, right? Which it didn't affect my team at all. It more or less just, I don't know, looking for a running back, and it got rid of one more good running back. And I had Le'Veon Bell as like a backup safety option, and I cut him when he got released, and I'm not going to pick him back up now that he's on the Chiefs, because it's like Helaire is still the number one running back in that, or like in that backfield. Le'Veon Bell is only there to like get like 5 runs a game and like 4 catches. So I guess that's 5 points.
My running backs are all broken, so I just
And
picked
on
them
a
up right
bye.
now.
And on a bye.
Yeah, so I can't play Le'Veon, but I mean, Christian McCaffrey, I don't think he's coming back games. He was supposed to come back this week, but the coach said that he has no intention of activating him right now or in the near future. And then Myles Gaskin is my running back, and Chris Carson's got a bye, so I need to figure out how to adjust that. I've been looking at the free agents, and I'm just slowly putting it off because I don't want any of them.
I picked up Philip Lindsay because what's his name?
Is he back?
Well, yeah, Philip Lindsay's back. I'm not gonna start him. The only reason I picked him up is because Melvin Ingram?
Oh yeah.
He did a no and he got a DOI. He did some driving while drinking some no juice. So he's in trouble, and I'm just, when people get in trouble, coaches lose faith, so he'll probably get less touches. So probably good for Philip Lindsay. I don't know. I'll probably end up cutting him, but it's just like keep him on the bench. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
The league needs running backs, so or like the running back need is in such dire situation. And then I also picked up the Vikings backup running back because Dalvin Cook is hurt. That's only like a 1 week fix. That's not a long term because Dalvin Cook's going to be back next week. I'm just going to capitalize off this one game from him, which he had 16 points last week, which he only played in the second half of the game. So that's really good. Looking forward to this week. But let's go into our pick'ems, John, unless you have anything else about like fantasy running backs.
No, I'm good. We can do the
Okay.
pick'ems now.
Okay.
So the first game is Houston at Tennessee.
Houston, Tennessee. Wow.
I'm gonna say Titans.
No, John. You're forgetting. What's his name? Bill O'Brien is out of the Texans organization. They're good now, John.
No. Okay, you're forgetting that Bill O'Brien consistently won that division. Okay, he couldn't beat anybody else, but he could beat the people in the division.
Nah, genuinely, I feel like the Titans are like the good pick here, but like the Texans are the fun pick.
So you're gonna go fun?
No.
Mode?
No,
I'm
not
go
gonna
fun
go
mode.
I'm not gonna go fun mode.
If you don't go fun mode, you're gonna regret it when they win.
Nah, I'll go safe. I'll be safe. The Titans are better.
I heard Texans. Titans are better, but Texans are gonna win.
Probably, but no, I'm gonna pick Titans. Ravens, Eagles. This isn't really a game. I mean,
Bad birds, bro. This is a good game.
Bird v. Bird. Ravens. Well, let's think about this, John. Well, an eagle will kill a raven.
It would.
So, by that logic, the Eagles are better, right?
I mean, these last 2 weeks, Carson Wentz played better than Lamar Jackson. No.
Well, gotta think about it. Lamar Jackson has been overshadowed by the third string quarterback on that roster, Don. So maybe he's in a bad headspace when Trace McSorley is like the superstar of that roster, right? So maybe he's just been feeling down these past couple weeks, but the Ravens are just better. There's like, I don't know. There's not really anything like commentary or anything like about that. It's just like
the Ravens might not beat good teams, but they're gonna blow out all the bad teams.
Right, like the Eagles are basically a JV practice squad at this point. Like they have no one on their roster that's like left alive. So like there's just like you can't really pick them because it's like if they win, it's like, oh my God, they won. It's not like, oh yeah, they had a chance. It's like you're surprised when they put up a fight because they're so hurt and broken.
All right.
Falcons,
Here's a
Vikings.
fun one. Falcons at the Vikings. I wonder who's gonna win this game.
This okay. Well, who was doing all the play calling for the Falcons, like offensively?
Whoever their offensive coordinator is.
Was it
Yeah, I don't think it's Dan Quinn.
Quinn? Didn't have any. Okay,
I don't believe so.
all right. If Quinn had zero play calling, then that means the Falcons' offense is still going to be as good, right? And I'm assuming Quinn had zero influence on their defense, which isn't good because their defensive coordinator.
Defensive-minded coach. He's supposed to be.
Oh,
having
was he?
influence there.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
here's the
'cause he
thing.
used to be the Legion of Boom defensive coordinator.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Wow. How the mighty have fallen. That is rough. Wow. So he had influence over the defense, but the defensive coordinator is now the head coach. So it doesn't bode well for the Falcons because their defense is still terrible. It bodes well for my fantasy team. But this one is rough because, like, I mean, I want to say the Vikings because I don't see them losing to the Falcons, but like at the same time I do. Yeah, like I don't know if that makes any sense.
Bad enough to do it, but the Falcons are so bad that they can't possibly win this game.
Right, they possibly can't do it, but yet they can because they have such a good offense. But like their defense is gonna blow it. Like there's like they could drop 50 on the Vikings, but then the Vikings will storm back and drop 51. Right, so it's like.
Well, this is tough because Dalvin Cook's not playing. So
No, but the backup running back is good, John.
Who?
The job, bro. He dropped 16 fantasy points in a half. All right, you mean to tell me that's not good? He dropped 100 rushing yards in one half.
Because no one was playing the run. They're like, Dalvin Cook's hurt. They're gonna throw it to Adam Thielen, and guess what? They ran the ball more.
Okay, he also caught 3 balls. Okay, for 25 yards. So, how about that?
It's a shootout, okay, and I don't think the Vikings
100%.
backup running back could beat the Falcons in a shootout. Nor do I think Kirk Cousins could beat the Falcons because Julio Jones is coming back this game.
Oh, he is. That means great stuff for Calvin Ridley. Woot woot. Calvin Ridley's gonna ball.
This is a very interesting game because the Vikings lost their best player and the Falcons are getting their best player back. But the Falcons are so significantly worse than the Vikings. I don't know.
Yeah, no. What do you? Genuinely, this is like a coin flip. No, is it though? I think we're just undervaluing the Vikings because defensively, I think they're better.
Are they? Well, okay, yeah, but let's look at Vikings' schedule. Okay. Let's see here. They
almost beat the Seahawks.
Okay.
Did the Falcons almost beat the Seahawks?
The Falcons almost beat. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the score, yeah.
Did they? What was the score?
I think they did.
No. Okay, the Texans barely lost by a point. The Falcons lost by like. Those were garbage times touchdowns. Do you not remember, John? The Seahawks were demolishing.
I know they were garbage time touchdowns, but still, it's only 2 touchdowns. They were making a comeback in that fourth quarter.
No. So
26-point fourth quarter, and they would have won.
So if we're looking at it like that, comparing their losses, like.
Okay, but the Falcons have played better teams than the Vikings.
Who are the Falcons played? Oh,
they lost to the Seahawks and the Packers are their 2 significant losses. The Vikings
on their 0-5.
Lost. I know. But I said
it's a 1-4 versus a 0-5 team, John. One of these 2 teams have to win, unless a tie. Could
the
it be?
Vikings got blown out by Philip Rivers. Okay.
Shoot, that's not very good. How about
Falcons have been blown out by Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
And okay, and they had big boy Nick on their face, and then the Cowboys blown lead.
Okay, but they were beating the Bears until Nick Foles came in, remember?
And they were beating the Cowboys until they had a botched onside kick, John. Okay.
The Cowboys weren't an undefeated team. Okay, the Bears were.
At that when they played them, yeah, they were 0-1, and so were the Falcons.
I know. The Bears were undefeated when the Falcons played them. The Cowboys didn't have a win yet.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
The Cowboys are bad.
Yes, Cowboys are bad, and they lost to the Cowboys.
0-5 team and another 0-5 team. Okay.
Yes,
Their opponents that they've beaten have a combined 10 losses and 0 wins. I do not have any faith in the Cowboys.
And also, they lost arguably their best player.
Yeah, arguably.
Arguably. Because, you can't throw it to the receivers without a quarterback. And you can't hand it... Oh, well, I guess you could hand it off to Zeke with any
Andy
quarterback.
Dalton does well, then Dak's not going to be the best player. So if Andy Dalton does well this season, then they might move on from Dak because he's going to be a lot more expensive.
Yeah, no, I genuinely believe it's the last year of Dak in Dallas. Okay, I'm just gonna stick my stick in the mud and say Vikings. I'm just gonna plant it there, Vikings. Am I fully confident in that choice? No.
Fine. I'll say the Vikings. Fine. I'll say Vikings too because I don't know. I think these are two of. If we ignore New York teams, I think these are the two worst teams in the NFL.
Right. This is either going to be one of two things: a tank bowl, where it's both teams are just trying to throw the game as hard as they can, or like the most beautiful game we've ever seen. Like I feel like there's no in between.
Yeah.
Or there is an in between, and we just can't think of it. Browns, Steelers. This.
I'm saying the Steelers.
Really?
You can say Cleveland. I'm saying the Steelers.
I think Cleveland wins the next game. I don't think they win this game. When do they play next?
I think it's later in the season.
Yeah, like week 16, week 15. Yeah. Week 17. Okay, they play week 17. I think week 17.
Well, at that let's think about it though. At that point, these two teams could be fighting for a playoff spot. Like the Browns could need to win that game to make.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're probably.
Do you think the Browns are good enough to, in the crunch time, win the game? Are they a clutch team or not?
We haven't seen it. It's the Browns, John. Well, at that point, it's one of two things, right? They're either 9-7 and are happy that they're even, or 9-6, whatever, and they're happy that they're even 9-6, or their season has fallen apart. So, I still think the Steelers are going to win this first game, and if the Browns are in a position where they need to win, or like say they're like the 8th seed looking at the 7th seed, and the Steelers have already clinched like the 5th spot, right? I think the Browns are going to win that game. So that's later down the road, but right now I think the Steelers are going to win this one.
Next is the Bengals Colts.
This one I like this one because I like Joe Burrow, and I don't think he's going to win.
I was like, where are you going with this? You're not going to say they're going to win, right? Because as much as I like the Bengals more than the Colts, the Bengals are not playing good at all.
They're playing better.
Like 3 people on their team.
It's no longer a tank bowl every week. It's more like they're just a bad team. Like it's a very big difference between tank bowl and bad team. The Colts, they'd be so much better with any other quarterback. Genuinely, like
they're 3-2, and I think they could be 5-0 if they had a different quarterback.
Right, like genuinely, I think in the back of my head, I'm like, the Colts should be doing better, right? But they're not a team where they could just turn the switch and start tanking for a better quarterback, right? Like they're in this weird middle ground
Big
where
brain. They're gonna get Dak.
ooh, big, yeah. I think that's their motto. Or that's what they're thinking. I think they're like, we can pick up a quarterback in free agency. We'll be fine. We don't need to tank for a quarterback.
I think they're betting on either Dak or Jameis Winston. That'd be my guess. But I don't think Jameis Winston's gonna leave. I think Drew Brees is. I think he's gonna retire.
Right.
I think they are valuing one of those two options is who they're
or any other free agency that's out there. Because like this last year, like there was rumors flying that they wanted Tom Brady, they wanted Nick Foles. Every notable free agent quarterback was like, the Colts want you. It was that story.
They wanted Le'Veon Bell. They wanted Le'Veon Bell to pair up with Andrew Luck back when Luck was still playing.
Yeah, but you can't blame them for wanting to put a good running back next to a good quarterback. Right now,
but their motto is free agent. Like I'm trying to think of the draft. They've got Quentin Nelson and Malik Hooker.
Yeah, they've been drafting good supports, but they haven't been drafting their like quote unquote star players. You know?
Yeah, I feel like, but a lot of it was they're still riding that Andrew Luck train for a while. They're like, he's gonna come back eventually, and then he never did.
If you think
now they're finally moving on.
Did they draft Peyton? Yeah, they did. Okay, I was thinking.
Yeah, so they're pretty good at drafting quarterbacks, but they aren't. I don't think they're gonna have a high enough draft pick this draft. That was the thing. Was Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning were both
number one,
top 3 picks.
Oh wait, Peyton Manning was 2.
Ryan Leaf was number 1.
Yeah. Big brain.
And Charles Woodson won the Heisman that year. He beat out Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning, and Randy Moss.
That's crazy. So yeah, Colts beat the Bengals. Probably convincingly. But it's still a sham. They need a different quarterback.
Detroit at Jacksonville.
This game is going to be nice, hoping that Matt Patricia forgets how to coach defense, because he's forgotten a lot in his head coaching career, which is surprising. You'd think a defensive-minded coach like Matt Patricia would know how to coach defense.
Why would you think that? Look at Dan Quinn, bro.
It's like, I don't know.
Look at Kyle Shanahan. Okay, an offensive-minded coach. Last year had the best defense in the league. Okay, look at Mike Tomlin. When he got signed, was a defensive-minded coach. Look at his offense compared to the defense up until basically this year. They had the triple Bs, and then now that he went back, they look like a much better team. So yeah, defensive coordinators, when they get control of the offense, they like to load it with superstars, and then it doesn't really work out, like winning wise. Like, yeah, they're gonna get a lot of fantasy points, because even look at Sean McVay. He's like, I know what I'm doing on offense, and I'm just gonna get good players on defense and hope it works out.
Right?
It didn't really work out.
Well, they had Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips knew what he was doing.
He did terrible.
Okay, he was an old man and probably senile, but he was better at coaching it than Sean McVay, and that's what you want in your head coach, to know when he sucks at something. Okay, they're doing all right. They stopping. Aaron Donald's doing his thing. Jalen Ramsey's out there murdering quarterbacks, which is what you want in a defense.
They just go get star players and ignore it, because you can't coach it.
Yeah, because they're stars, John. They're the best.
But it doesn't work.
It's gonna work eventually. Lions, Jags. This one, I have a lot riding on this game, mainly fantasy wise. Because I have no interest in the Lions or Jags.
Gardner Minshew leaves after this season.
I'm praying that they trade him away. I hope the Jags just tank.
Him and Miles Jack are the last good players on that team.
You're forgetting about James Robinson, an undrafted rookie. He's an undrafted rookie. He's
I know they
killing the
drafted,
game.
and they have Josh Allen too, the rookie or he's not a rookie anymore. But the guy
Sophomore.
they drafted, yeah. Who'd they draft this year? Oh, they drafted C.J. Anderson. Or no, it was the
Right.
Falcons. They drafted some corner though. Maybe it
Yeah.
was C.J. Anderson. I don't know. But Gardner Minshew, Josh Allen, and Miles Jack. That's all they got left, and that's not something to build around.
Right. I was gonna say that they traded stuff away. Oh, they have the Steelers first and stuff, right?
Yeah, they have yours too, don't they? The Rams.
Oh, this year, yeah, they do. Yeah, but that's gonna be like a. Oh yeah, they don't have anything because like those picks, the Steelers and the Rams are gonna be like late 20.
Yeah.
So
They're probably going to trade him back for more picks next year, especially if this year they aren't like, because I mean, I don't really think they do a very good job scouting because of how terrible they've been besides on defense. Like, they have gotten like the great players, right? But if you look at it, it's all like no-brainer players. Like Jalen Ramsey, if they didn't take him, the next team was. He was just that good,
right.
right? Same thing with what's his name, Telvin Smith, the guy they had who's not on their team anymore. And then they're only free agent, and then most of their defensive line was free agents. They had Marcel Darius and Calais Campbell. And then on offense, they were terrible at drafting. They had Blake Bortles as their starting quarterback for so long.
Hey, he
So-
led them to the AFC Championship. He played good enough not to lose up until that point. Now the Jags are a terrible organization, and honestly, yeah, they have no real future. I don't know. It's rough. It's really rough.
They're one of those teams. It's like you're not rebuilding, and you're just going downhill, but you're not bad enough to lose out, so you're not going to get these high picks.
Yeah, they're probably gonna end up with like a top 15 draft pick because like they're not. Well, they only have one win, right? Or do they have two?
I have one.
They have one. Okay, well,
Colts.
there's still.
It was week 1. They started out 1-0.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But they're the Bengals 1 win.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. Because the Jags are the first team in NFL history to lose in 3 consecutive weeks to a team that hasn't won a game. So they were the Bengals' first win. They were
the Dolphins' first win.
the Dolphins' first win.
Texans' first win.
Yep. So
well, they can't be the Lions' first win, so I think the Jags win this game.
The Lions. The Lions are relying on the running game through Adrian Peterson and a passing game through Matthew Stafford.
They've been using DeAndre Swift quite a bit.
Have they?
I mean, I'm looking at his fantasy production compared to Adrian Peterson's, and it's not that far off.
Right. I think they just have Swift through the passing game, though. I think that's his main contribution. That's why it's so, like they're so equal because, like, passing is an automatic point compared to running. This one's another hard game. Not because it's two good teams. It's two bad teams that, like, you have no clue. Like, maybe one just decides to play better, right? Like, it's like one of those things. You just have zero clue as to what's going to happen. I like... Who has better coaching? The Lions?
Matt Patricia. I mean, you have Doug Marrone yelling at players on the sideline. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, but all those players are gone. The players that didn't like to get yelled at are gone, John, okay? They're bad boys because they didn't like to get yelled at, so they're out of here, okay? They're gone. So every player on that roster loves getting yelled on, okay? They love it. They love it, and they love it. They go, please yell at me more, Doug. Please yell at my face hole. This is hard. I genuinely don't know what, like, it's just trying to think of any advantage I can give to one team over the other, and it's just like they're both bad. Like, there's nothing I can give them.
One of the teams has Jeffrey Okuda.
Yeah. What is the Lions have? What is their defensive line? No one. I can't think of anyone.
No,
God.
they have the one guy that used to be on the Patriots that Matt Patricia got. Remember? Oh, he popped
Oh.
off that one year for New England.
Okay. So.
Let me look up. Remember, he was like the guy that they moved around all the time. Like he was playing interior and
Right.
exterior. Uh, who do they have on their defensive line? They have Trey Flowers, bruh. Trey
Oh.
Flowers. They got Jamie Collins now. Oh, but they got these pretty stacked. Like, if you look at their roster offensively, they should have one of the best offenses in the league.
Right, but they
Offensive
don't.
line is all good. Their receivers are Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones Jr. That's a great combo. Their tight ends are TJ Hawkinson, Jesse James, and Hunter Bryant. All three of those guys fill their role very well. And then they have Kerryon Johnson, Adrian Peterson, and DeAndre Swift. Kerryon Johnson's the starting running back on this team.
Nah, I think Adrian Peterson is. I don't know. I haven't watched that many
Not on the
Lions.
depth chart.
Okay.
Even their backups, bro. They got Chase Daniel at backup quarterback. What? Like they have
Oh.
good starters and they have really good depth. Like all their backups are
See,
really good.
So this is a problem in coaching, which I've been saying. Matt Patricia isn't a very good head coach. That's why I'm gonna pick the Jaguars. The Jaguars. I picked Jaguars. Rawr.
Rawr.
Jaguars would kill a lion.
Would they?
Yes. Because Jaguars.
All right. Bears versus Panthers. Then.
What you picked? Did you pick Jaguars too?
Yeah, I picked Jaguars. Who would win a fight between a bear and a panther?
Bear and a panther. Panther. Because but a bear only needs to hit the panther once, and I'm pretty sure
the bear's got a heavy hit.
Yeah,
the panther's got small hits.
The
What's
panther
worse, getting hit? The bear's slow with a one-hit heavy attack. The panther's quick with a lot of small hits.
So this is a tank versus a DPS build, which is better.
If you take it like that, though, then it depends on the speed of the tank and the armor of the tank. How many hits can the tank take? And then how quickly can the tank end the fight? All right? Because eventually it's got to end.
Right.
I think the Panthers have the endurance to go with the bear, and I think they can take out the tank. Do you agree, or do you think the tank will one hit the panther?
I think the bear will definitely wound the panther, but I don't think the panther will yield.
Do you think?
I think the panther is gonna win. I think the panther wins.
So I'm glad we did that analogy and finally stepped away from the fact that the Panthers are undefeated without Christian McCaffrey, who still isn't back.
And it's gonna stay that way. We're just genuinely, I don't know how they do it, but they're doing it. It's gotta hurt Christian McCaffrey's ego. Like it has to. Like
he literally put that team on his back for like the past 3 years. Right. And then winning, and he's like, "What the hell?"
Like if I was him, that would hurt me a little, just a little. Like, oh,
like I'm glad you guys are winning, but like, can you win with me?
Like, am I the problem? Is there something wrong with me? Like,
I'm too good. The other, I don't even know, because he is genuinely like probably the best running back in football, and it's like.
That's the problem. He's too good that they rely on him, and the defense knows that it's him, so they stop him or they try to, right?
But that's the thing is he is still getting like 3, 4 touchdowns a game. He's getting like
Right? It
100
doesn't
like
make sense.
everything he does. Like it's not like they're stopping him. He's genuinely doing amazing. I don't understand. It's
Like,
the Panthers defense just plays worse when Christian McCaffrey's in. I don't know.
right? Because like it's not like the defenses try to stop him, but they don't. Like he still
Yeah, they
gets
don't.
his touchdowns, his yardage, everything. So it's
Well,
like,
no, I look at the team. So week 1 they lost to the Raiders. They let the Raiders score for 34. Then they lose to the
right.
Bucks. The Bucks score 31.
Well,
The
they kept up
next 2
with the
weeks they held the team to 21 or less. The other team.
right the Panthers, but the Panthers kept not against the Bucks, but they kept up with the Raiders, right?
Mm-hmm. That was
And
basically Christian McCaffrey versus
right, Josh
They
Jacobs.
were just outscoring each other.
And then after that, the Panthers defense just flipped a switch. I think,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Well, it didn't play good against the Raiders. It was just the offense was compensating.
right,
But since Christian McCaffrey's been gone, their defense has been playing better.
right. 21 points. They've held
Because
the other
even
team.
like you can look at the other teams they've played. Obviously, they're bad teams that they're beating. But these, I
Right.
mean, Justin Herbert has been playing well. Kyler Murray is
Top
scoring
10
a
running
lot of
back or
points.
quarterback, right? Top.
The Falcons have been scoring a lot of points, even though they're losing. So it's like they're holding high-scoring offenses down. And I don't know why suddenly Christian McCaffrey's hurt. Their defense is like, time to shape up.
Yeah. Panther kill bear.
Panther kill bear.
And I'm happy with that. Okay, now Washington football team versus a giant. This one, you got a whole team of people, John, versus a giant or giants. So let's get into murky water when we go giants. It's only one football team, so 53 men versus one giant.
This is interesting because if we're going, I'm not gonna think about. I'm gonna say the Redskins. Okay, I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna say the Washington football team. Who do you say? I'm hoping that the Giants and the Jets both go 0-16 and end up with the top 2 pick. I think being able to say that New York has 0-32 and is the first 2 picks would be hilarious.
I feel like one of them is bound to win a game, and
if it is, it's probably the Giants, and it's probably this game.
Yes, I think the Giants. They're gonna beat someone in their division. Like, maybe.
I think they could beat everyone in their division. They could go. Have they played any? Yeah, they played the Cowboys. But that's it. They could go 5-1 in their division and then win the division. They could finish the season 5-11.
John, I agree with you with Washington. I think they're going to win this game. Yeah, let's just go Washington. There's not
Alex
enough.
Smith is playing now, right?
No, he got benched.
Why?
Kyle Allen passed health protocols. He's alive, so they're playing him. Ron Rivera really likes him, John. I don't know why, but he really likes that white boy.
Okay, wait. So it says Alex Smith is still wearing a leg brace, and
yes,
the leg brace is the only thing that allows him to play football.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Yes. Washington football team will win. Broncos versus Patriots. This game might still not happen.
Finally happened. It's finally gonna happen.
I don't know. I think. Did they? I'm trying to see whether or not another Patriots player tested positive because I'm pretty sure. Did they, or did they all have? Was it a false positive? No, there are
false positive in the NFL recently.
Okay. No new Patriots players have tested positive, so this game might actually happen. Awesome.
Gonna happen. Okay.
It's gonna happen. Patriots, because I'm pretty sure what's his name, Drew Lock is still hurt. So yeah, Patriots. There's not really any question there. You agree, or you think the Broncos are gonna?
I think the
Boom,
Patriots
bop.
are going to win. Drew Lock and Cam Newton are both set to return.
Are they? Is Drew Lock coming back? Drew Lock are questionable. Yeah, but I don't think they'd
Well, they're
risk
both
it.
expected to return. Well, I mean, they're still they've only. I mean, I guess they only have one win, but it's only 4 games in, right? Like if
Right.
they can win, they can still do get made. The only team they're really competing for right now is the Raiders. If they can just do better than the Raiders, and even then, they just need to do better than another team, probably in the NFC North, to get the wild card.
Actually, I think nah. The Broncos are on an uphill battle to make the playoffs.
They can do it.
They can
Okay,
do it,
just
but it's
believe.
rough.
Look at this. Okay, they're 1-3. They go and beat the Patriots. Amazing. 2-3. And they beat the Chiefs, division rival. Amazing. 3-3. Then they beat the Chargers, division rival. 4-3. And then they play the Falcons. Okay, they're gonna beat the Falcons.
Okay,
5-3. Then they play the Raiders. We'll say they lose that one. Okay, that's the Raiders take it. 5-4. And then they beat the Dolphins. 6-4. Then Drew, I don't know. Michael Thomas is still he's still being punished. He's in timeout. They beat the Saints 7-4. Then they lose to the Chiefs 7-5. Then Christian McCaffrey's back, so they beat the Panthers 8-5. They lose to the Bills 8-6, and they beat the Chargers and the Raiders and finished 10-6. Okay, amazing.
10-6.
Do it.
I don't think that's good enough for the playoffs though. I think you need to be
Sure it
11.
is. No,
Well, if you
they're
look at it,
17. Because
it's 17. The Bills are in, the Chiefs are in, the Steelers, the
Okay, so
Ravens,
let's say
Steelers are in, Titans.
Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, and Titans win their division. All right,
Right.
that leaves the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Patriots as the wild cards.
Okay,
Boom.
fine, whatever. All right, I still think the Patriots are gonna win this game. Jets, Dolphins. The Dolphins all the way.
Dolphins.
Right, but my favorite thing is when we were talking about Le'Veon Bell, I forgot to bring this up earlier. Le'Veon Bell blasted Jamal Adams for like tweeting that he like that he left, right? Like Jamal Adams like got traded and that he was no longer with the Jets. And then I guess he's no longer on the Jets too. Le'Veon Bell.
Wait, he criticized Jamal Adams for what?
For leaving, for like not staying in the organization.
But Le'Veon left the Steelers.
I don't know. It's stupid. It's funny because he no longer on the Jets, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
The Dolphins are better than Jets. Dolphins would murder Jets. Okay, Dolphins jumping out of water, just dog piling on top of Jet. Boom. Jet can't even fight back.
All right, who would win, a Packer or a Buccaneer?
A Buccaneer has a sword, John. I don't know what a Packer has.
They got a box.
They got a. It's just a regular dude with a box. That's all it is. A Buccaneer is a pirate.
Yeah,
Very scary. No, I think the Packers win this game. Packers are better.
You think the box beats the sword? Okay.
Yeah, I think the box beats sword.
All right, Rams, Niners. Who you got?
The Rams.
Same.
Yeah, this is in an alternate reality where the 49ers aren't murdered. This would be more of a discussion. But
Kyle Shanahan gave up on Nick Mullins, and now I've given up on Kyle Shanahan. Okay. I didn't like Kyle Shanahan when we first got him because I'm like, he's coming off the most embarrassing Super Bowl loss in NFL history. I don't like it. And then we went like 3 straight years of being bad, and I'm like, I still don't like it. Like, and then I remember. Do you remember that season we were undefeated, and all these other Niner fans were like, "We're gonna win the Super Bowl," and I'm like, "Guys, no, calm down. Okay, we haven't beaten any good teams yet, and then we beat some good teams, and I'm like, okay, maybe we'll go there." And then we got there, and I'm like, okay, we're not gonna win, guys. Calm down, okay? I was the only Niner fan who was not rooting for the Niners.
I feel your pain. Actually, I have a different experience because like the Rams went to the Super Bowl the year prior,
Mhm.
and my experience was like awesome. Oh
We
my
shouldn't have
god.
been in that
Yeah,
game.
it's like, oh my god, we're in the playoffs. Oh my god, we won a game. Oh my god, we won another game in the playoffs. Oh my god, we're in the Super Bowl. Ah shit, we lost.
As a Rams fan, or I feel like most Rams fans watching that game were like, "Damn, it's amazing we got here because we shouldn't even be the team that's in here right now. So we're
Yeah.
just gonna play our little hearts out."
Yeah, like, this is wow. 7-9. Who would have thought we did this?
From 7-9 to no call PI to Super Bowl, we made it,
We
Mama.
did
We
it.
made
We
it.
did it. Like, let's go to Africa and get those Rams 53 Super Bowl shirts. Let's do it. Chiefs, Bills, Chiefs.
Yeah.
If the Bills would have won against the Titans, this pick would have been probably a little bit harder, but I think the Chiefs are just gonna win now.
Cardinals, Cowboys. Who you got?
The Cardinals, but if Andy Dalton plays lights out, I can't even spin it like that.
So
I can't.
Andy Dalton, he made
He's
the
not
comeback.
bad. He's
Okay?
not
They
bad.
were losing. He's a good quarterback, but I'm in a tough spot because I feel like Andy Dalton's mentality is gonna be lob it up to the best receiver. Just trust him, right? Because that's what he did in Cincy. He just
Right.
lobbed it to AJ Green. So I'm like, Amari Cooper's gonna get a bunch of targets, but I'm kind of like, I don't know because I have Amari Cooper in fantasy, and I'm like,
Right.
maybe the game plan is just hand it to Zeke the whole game because they don't trust Andy, right? Because he didn't throw a whole lot when Dak went out. I think he only threw like 9 passes or something, or had 9 completions. So it's like they
John.
obviously were running the ball a lot more.
John.
What?
All right. So this week, right? I have the 49ers losing. I have the Bucks losing. If you, for a 49ers fan that still has hope out there that the 49ers might make the playoffs, you want the Cardinals to lose because the Cardinals are currently the 7th seed, right? And if the Cardinals lose this game next week, they're playing the Seahawks, which they're most likely going to lose that game.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are playing the Patriots. Oh shit.
Yeah, we play all the ones. We play the Saints and the Packers later this year. We play Bills. We play the Patriots.
This isn't very nice. Okay. You know what? I was like, maybe there's hope you can get 7th seed, but that's not very nice now, is it?
Because we couldn't even beat the Eagles. I don't think we're gonna beat the Packers.
Because like you're only a game behind the Cardinals, right? Like you're still technically in the hunt, right? Because but that's gonna slowly fade away. That's rough. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say like you play the Cowboys and Andy Dalton's a superhero and pick Andy Dalton, but I revert back. I'm gonna go Cardinals. Yeah, it's not. I think Andy Dalton's still good, right? It's just we'll see what happens.
I don't like Mike McCarthy isn't good.
Right.
That's my problem.
But we could see maybe McCarthy just didn't like a quarterback that could run 5 yards. Maybe he wanted a pure pocket passer, you know? Maybe that was his problem.
That's true. That's true. The running back is for running, not the quarterback. Quarterback just gets the quarters.
Okay. No. There's no running for you running back, okay? You stay in that pocket and you're going to like it. the pocket collapses, well, you collapse with it, okay?
I love how the argument is just like, what about Lamar Jackson? He's doing good. And Mike McCarthy could just be like, did he win last year? No, he
No.
didn't win the Super Bowl.
No,
The
you know,
pocket passing quarterback did.
which you could argue Patrick Mahomes isn't a pure pocket passing quarterback.
He's a scrambler. Okay, he's not a runner. There's a difference.
Yes. Even then, that was a fluke, okay? Name any other time in history.
He's like, Tom Brady's the only good quarterback. Okay.
Which, who was it? Bruce Arians said, when like asked, what's like the best quarterback you've ever worked with? He was like, Andrew Luck, which is true. Like Andrew Luck in his prime compared to the Tom Brady that Bruce Arians has right now is way better, right? Oh, that's all the games. Is it?
Yeah, that's all the games.
No, don't we do Thursday as well? No. We do that on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yeah, you're right. There wasn't a Thursday this week. It was only Tuesday. I forgot. My bad. Is that all the sports? I'm trying to think.
That's all the sports.
Did anything... Dalvin Cook's out. No new COVID tested positive. Yeah, that's... Oh, do you think AJ Green's gonna get traded? Did you see the clip flying around of him saying "trade me" like on the sidelines?
No, I didn't see that clip.
No. So, who'd they play this past week? They played the Bengals. Played the Ravens, and the Ravens absolutely destroyed the Bengals, right? Mm-hmm. And on a play, Joe Burrow like got murdered through an interception that AJ Green could have, one, totally stopped, and then two, tackled the corner that like caught it, but he just didn't. He stood there. And then later on, like a camera was filming AJ Green talk to a teammate, and like you could see him like say, "Trade me," right? Like obviously they didn't pick up audio or anything. It's just if you read his lips, like it's very clear. It's like, "Trade me." So there's now this rumor going around that AJ Green wants out of Cincy, which...
Let's see what he has to say about it. Because he was...
he's come out against it, which is the good thing, I suppose, right? Which, that still doesn't change the fact that, like, he was obviously very upset last week, which makes sense because his production and everything has gone down. Joe Burrow has favored Tyler Boyd, and
okay, I watched the clip right now. He quit on the route because he knew he wasn't going to catch it. Wait, he was kind of trying to tackle more. Like he couldn't catch. He obviously didn't tackle him, but it looks like he saw what's his name, 44 right there, and was like, "I'm not gonna get blocked by Marlon Humphrey right now." Okay, so he went forward to try and angle at Marcus Peters instead of going at him and taking the hit from Marlon Humphrey. Right. I'm not gonna say he quit on the defensive end of it, but he definitely quit on the route. But like, you can't blame.
Yeah, I'm not.
It wasn't a catchable ball.
Yeah, well, I think Joe Burrow got murdered at the beginning of that play, or I might be misremembering it.
No, he
just bad ball.
Were two defensive linemen running straight at him. He threw it off his back leg just towards his best receiver.
Okay.
Let's see.
But what I'm saying is, AJ Green, his targets have definitely gone down because like Joe Burrow has been throwing the ball more to Tyler Boyd and has been getting T. Higgins involved a lot more. So maybe this outburst or quote unquote outburst, right? Because like AJ Green didn't come out and say anything publicly, right? He was obviously frustrated on the sideline and was talking to a teammate in like frustration, right? So maybe this like gets AJ Green, I think like the outcome is either AJ Green gets more touches, right? Or he gets traded. And if he gets traded, I don't like, it's the Le'Veon Bell situation where like I don't see a team necessarily that would bring him in. because I can't really think of a team that like would need a receiver that badly.
The Niners.
Right. But
even then, the Niners need it to compensate for bad quarterback play, not because they actually are lacking in receivers. But I don't know, looking at the clip, it looks like he's talking about the play. Like he said, like before he says trade me, he says, "What are you doing in there?" Like, and then he says what everyone thinks is trade me. But in that context, saying trade me doesn't make sense. Like if you're talking about the play, then obviously Joe Burrow can't trade you in the play, right? He's like, "What are you doing?" Referring to Joe Burrow, I believe, like that kind of throw. Like, what are you doing? Trade me? That doesn't make sense at the end of that sentence.
Right. Which I don't know. Maybe it's just a bad lip read, but
bad lip read should do a bad lip read on AJ Green's bad lip read.
But let's just assume that like this, like he's probably frustrated, right? Because like
he said he is. Like he said he's very upset, but that he doesn't want to leave.
Right, because like think about it, he's been the number one receiver on that roster for like God knows how many years, and he's no longer the number one receiver. He's still like probably the best receiver, but he's not.
Still is the number one receiver because looking at who they've played and who he has covering him. I mean, in that play, at least Marcus Peters was the one covering him.
Right.
And my understanding, Marcus Peters takes the 1 and Marlon Humphrey takes the 2.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like AJ Green is still probably the best receiver, but like he's not the number one receiver in the sense of like catches and like touches. Like normally when you have the number one receiver, it correlates with the best receiver, right? And it goes down the list. But for the Bengals, it's a little bit different. AJ Green is still probably the best receiver, but he's not the number one receiver on that roster. So that's where you get situations where the best corner is guarding AJ Green and the second best corner is guarding Tyler Boyd. And then T. Higgins gets involved throughout like the offense. But I think definitely this is going to result in more touches for AJ Green. I think AJ Green's gonna get involved a little bit more, but I don't think he's gonna get traded. I don't see like trading for me is always iffy because I don't know. I can't think of like teams that desperately need.
Who's going if you might be willing to get rid of him and you might be able to get something for him, but who is going to give it to you, right? He's worth probably a bit. I don't know how much, like maybe 2 second rounders or something.
Well, here's the thing. You also have to think about like the past year, and like DeAndre Hopkins went for a second round, which granted that was stupid Bill O'Brien that did that. And then Stephon Diggs went for a first and like a fifth or whatever, which is a way better value for a receiver.
Diggs I think DeAndre Hopkins is more close to what AJ Green would get you because of how he's played recently.
Right.
And also this is like his 8th or 9th year, isn't it? He came into the league the same year as Julio.
You're right. I think so.
So the longevity for receiver, he's got probably 4 years left, which isn't a whole lot for a receiver.
But he could teach your young receivers, right?
Yeah. Like I could see him getting traded to like the Saints or something, but they'd probably say, we'll take AJ Green and then we'll give you Emmanuel Sanders, right?
Which I saw that as well. People being like, the Saints need a true number one receiver because Emmanuel Sanders hasn't been doing it with the absence of Michael Thomas being gone.
I feel like it's Drew Brees' fault. He's just not throwing it to Emmanuel Sanders. Like I've watched their games, and Emmanuel Sanders is like, he's there, and he's even open sometimes, and Drew Brees just would rather throw it to Alvin Kamara.
Right. Like I'm like, well, if you think about it, you can't replace Michael Thomas, right? Like the chemistry that Drew Brees and Michael Thomas have is like bar to none. Like,
I think the only duo in the league that would be comparable would be Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. And even then, it's not as good. I think Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson would be a better comparison. Back when they were a duo, they were they were on pace to set records that only Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison had.
So it's like, even if you did trade AJ Green to the Saints, would Drew Brees like trust him enough to actually throw him the ball, right? So it's like, I don't know. I genuinely don't see anywhere that AJ Green
Which
would
I
get
think is
traded.
weird. It's a clear sign of Drew Brees' decline because he used to spread the ball around so much. They would show stats of how like 12 different guys had caught a ball, and you knew the names of none of those guys, but he just was giving everyone touches. I remember there was a game where they played the Cowboys, and he just lobbed it up to CJ Spiller on a wheel route, and they won in overtime off that touchdown. Even when he had Jimmy Graham and he was the number one option, he still would throw it to Marquise Colston. I think Kenny Stills was on the team. Like he always spread the ball around a lot. He just isn't anymore, and I don't understand why. The only possible reason would be his declining in play because of his
Right.
age.
Right. I think it's more like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's definitely, if you look at the games, it's like he's throwing it to different receivers, but that's because like they're trying to compensate for the lack of Michael Thomas. It's not because he's like willingly going Michael Thomas, then this receiver. It's like, well, that receiver is playing Michael Thomas today, right? So
yeah.
And if not that receiver, Alvin Kamara is standing right there. Here you go, right? So Drew Brees is definitely on the decline. I don't know, which is weird to think about, right? Because like we've gone our entire football lives looking at football and going, wow, Drew Brees, oh my God. And so he's definitely not the same.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think he's do you think he stays around? Actually, no. Drew Brees would never stay around as like a backup quarterback, which I don't understand why quarterbacks don't do that more. Like a backup quarterback has to be like the cushiest job ever.
Yeah.
I
think Drew Brees might be willing to come back as a coach. A quarterback coach. I don't think he'd be a very good quarterback coach, but I think he'd be willing to come back as one. I think he's one of those players that has just such pure natural talent that for him to coach, he'd just be so frustrated with the quarterback. Like, why can't you do this? Like,
why can't you just throw it like 50 yards right into the hands of Michael Thomas? Like, what are you doing? He's wide open. No, he's not. He's got 10 guys covering him. He's wide open. What are you doing?
He's wide open. What do you mean? Just throw it in that little pocket right above his head and he'll reach up and catch it, bro. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Dude, the safety just came over. The whole defense is covering that one player. No. Everyone else is open. That's Michael Thomas is open. The entire defense is covering Michael Thomas. No, you're just not reading it right. Like, what is wrong with you?
Like, is Michael Thomas covered? And he's like, yeah. He's like, wrong. He's open. If Michael Thomas is open, you throw it to him.
Drew Brees, they got an extra man on the field. Just like it's 12 men on one man. What are you talking about? He's wide open. You just can't see.
Wide open. Just hold Y, bro, and eat it. You're gonna catch it.
Right, like Drew Brees, I don't know. Like, what's his name? The Eagles, like fourth string quarterback, Josh McCown. He played on the playoffs last year when Carson Wentz got hurt. Josh McCown, I think I want to say his name is.
Yeah.
He's the Eagles' COVID quarterback, so he's getting paid like $12,000 a week to stay at home and isolate himself with his family. So that has to be like the cushiest job ever.
Came out of retirement, and now they're like, "No, go sit down because you have COVID, and we're gonna pay you."
No. It's not because he has COVID. It's like he's the COVID reserve quarterback. So it's like,
so
it's like
so he can't go to any other team. He's
right.
Someone gets COVID on the Eagles, he's gonna come in.
Yeah, if like Carson Wentz dies, their backup gets COVID and like or something. Like if every starting quarterback on the Eagles roster or backup quarterback dies, Josh McCown is gonna get flown in to Philly and start, right? Which cushy job, right? Cushy. All right, I think that's sports ball this week. You have any more sports?
Nope.
No more
sports.
sports
Was this week in sports ball.
All right. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.